The pivotal element method.
Hi, my name is Gabrielin B. Gomez and I'm here to explain about the pivotal elements evaluation of determinants. Let's start by defining pivotal element method. The pivotal element method is an effective tool for determining determinants. The pivotal element in getting the determinant of a matrix of order n, which is 1 and forming a quantity of n minus 1 determinant from here. For clarity, an example is presented for this step. First, if the given determinant of order n has an element of unity 1, use this pivotal method. Second, cross out the row and column through the pivotal method. Third, from each element of the resulting determinant of order n minus 1, subtract each remaining entry by a product of the element in the pivotal row and column that intersects with the remaining entry. Fourth, then the value of the given determinant is negative 1 I plus j times the value of the new determinant. Example number 1. Finding the pivotal methods given determinant 3 by 3 matrix. G equals 4, negative 2, 6, 5, 1, 2, negative 1, 4, and 8. First, we must locate the pivot, which is 1, and its place in the middle of the matrix in row 2 and column 2. Step 2 is to cross out the row and column that we refer to as pivotal row and column. After crossing it out, locating the pivot, there will always be a negative 1 raised to the sum of its row and column positions, which is what we have in our example. G equals negative 1, 2 plus 2, because the pivot is located in row 2, column 2. Then we will subtract its remaining entries from the product of the elements, which will intersect with 4. We can rewrite the rest of the entries. 6, negative 1, and 8. Then minus 5 times negative 2, negative 1 minus 5 times 4. 6 minus 2 times negative 2, and 8 minus 2 times 4. Afterwards, we will subtract it one by one. G equals 1. 4 minus 5 times negative 2 is 14. 6 minus 2 times negative 2 equals 10. Negative 1 minus 5 times 4 is negative 21. 8 minus 2 times 4 is 0. Then after, we will execute the upward and downward diagonals. 14, 0 minus 10 times negative 21. We will eventually figure it out. Kindly get your calculator and assist me in solving the problem, as well as checking to see whether we have the same result. Therefore, the final answer is 210. Let's take with another example, this time a 4 by 4 matrix. to better understand the pivotal method. Example number 2. Determine the given pivotal method determinant 4x4 matrix. A equals 1, -5, 2, 3, 0, 2, 1, 1, 0, 0, 3, 6, 0, 0, 0, 5. To begin, the pivot here is 6, after which the cross out row by column which is 4. After that, copy the remaining entry after crossing the pivot. -1, 4, plus 3, because our pivot is located to row 4, column 3. Then copy the remaining entries. 1, -5, 2, 0, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. Then subtract these remaining entries. -1, 1 minus 0 times 3, -5 minus 0 times 3, 2 minus 3 times 3, 0 minus 0 times 1, 2 minus 0 times 1, 1 minus 3 times 1, 0 minus 0 times -5, 0 minus 0 times -5, 0 minus 3 times -5. Then G minus -1, 1 minus 0 times 3 is 1, -5 minus 0 times 3 equals -5, 2 minus 3 times 3 equals -7, 0 minus 0 times 1 is 0, 2 minus 0 times 1, 2, 1 minus 3 times 1 is -2, 0 minus 0 times -5, 0, 0 minus 0 times -5, 0, 0 minus 3 times -5 is 15. Next, factor out. G equals 2, 1, -5, -7, 0, 2, -2, 0, 0, 15. We will also crossing out. The solution will be G equals -2 times -1, 1 plus 1. Then copy the remaining entries. 2, -2, 0, 15. Thereafter, classify the remaining entries by the product of the column with which they intersect. -2 minus 1, 2 minus 0 times -5, -2 minus 0 times -7, 0 minus 0 times -5, 15 minus 0 times negative 7.
The chaos element.
Method. 2 minus 0 times negative 5 is 2. Negative 2 minus 0 times negative 7 is negative 2. 0 minus 0 times negative 5 is 0. 15 minus 0 times negative 7 is 15. Next is upward and downward diagonal. G equals negative 2 times 15 minus negative 2 times 0. We will cancel it because negative 2 times 0 is 0. Then copy this one. G equals negative 2 times 30 because 2 times 15 is 30. Therefore, the final answer will be negative 60.
Hi, I'm Sheila C. Garcia and I'm here to discuss Chio's method. It's a method for evaluating a matrix determinant using determinant identities.
So in this video, we are going to solve the Chios method using the formula 1 all over a11 raised to n minus 2. So our example number 1 is the 3 by 3 matrix. So the C determinants numbers for the first row is 1, 2, 3. Second row, 3, 1, 2. Third row, 2, 1, 3. So a11 is equals to 1 since the first value here is 1. And a11 is not equal to 0 since a11 is 1. And n is equals to 3 since we are using the 3 by 3 matrix. So we have to get the formula. C is equals to 1 all over a11 raised to n minus 3. Next, we have to group the data for the first row and the second row. 1, 3, 2, 1. Next, first row and last row. 1, 3, 3, 2. Next, first and last, and on the second. 1, 2, 2, 1. And then first, and then the last one. So, after grouping the data, we have to do the cross multiplication. So, for the first group, we have 1 multiplied by 1 is equals to 1. 3 multiplied by 2 is equals to 6. And then, second group, 1 multiplied by 2 is equals to 2. 3 multiplied by 3 is equals to 9. Next, third group, 1 multiplied by 1 is equals to 1. 2 multiplied by 2 is equals to 4. Last group, 1 multiplied by 3. 2 multiplied by 3 is equals to 6. And then, we have to substitute the value of this formula using this given. So, C is equals to 1 all over a11 is equals to 1. And then n is equals to 3 minus 2. And then we simplify this value. 1 minus 6 is equals to negative 5. 2 minus 9 is equals to negative 7. And then 1 minus 4 is equals to negative 3. 3 minus 6 equals to negative 3. And then we have to do again the cross multiplication. So before doing the cross multiplication, we have to simplify this one. So C is equals to 1 all over 3 minus 2 is equals to 1 raised to 1 is equals to 1. And then negative 5 multiplied by negative 3 is equals to positive 15. And then negative 3 multiplied by negative 7 is equals to 21. So 1 divided by 1 is equals to 1 multiplied by 15 minus 1 is equals to negative 6. So negative 6 multiplied by 1 is equals to negative 6. So the C value is equals to negative 6. So in this video, we are going to solve the chaos method using the formula 1 all over A11 raised to n minus 2. So in this example, we have the 4 by 4 matrix. So the P determinant has the numbers on the first row 0, 1, 0, 1. Second row, negative 1, 0, negative 1, 3. Third row, 0, 1, 0, 2. Negative 1 for the fourth row, negative 1, negative 3, negative 2, 0. So, A11 should not be equal to 0. But our first element here is 0. So, we need to make an interchange. So, to do the interchange, the second column should be written on the first column. And the second column will be interchanged to the second column. So, this second column element will be transferred on the first row. So we have 1, 0, 1, negative 3. Okay? And then for the first element, we need to interchange them on the second column. 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1. And the other column, third and fourth, remains the same. Okay? So after making an interchange, our A11 now is equals to 1. So our A11 is equals to 1 and N is equals to 4 since we are using the 4 by 4 matrix. So we need to group the data now. But before grouping the data, we need to substitute our formula using this given. So P is equals to 1 all over 1 raised to 4, which is the value of n raised to minus 2, and then A1 is equals to 1. Okay, so it's 1 all over 1 raised to 4 minus 2. And the next step, we need to group the data. Okay, so for the first group, we have the first row 1, 0, 0, negative 1. So we put here. And then second is the first 1, 0, 0, negative 1. And then the last row, 1, 0, 1, 3. Okay? And then next, we have the first and the third, 1, 1, 0, 0. 1, 1, 0, 0. Next group, 1, 1, 0, 0. 1, 1, 0, 0. Last group 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2. And then for the third, we have the 1, negative 3, 1, negative 3, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1, and then 0, negative 2, 1, negative 3, and then 0, negative 2, and then 1, negative 3, and then 1, 0, 1, 0. Next, so after grouping the data, we need to do the cross multiplication. So for the first group, 1 multiplied by negative 1 is equals to negative 1 minus 0. 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. Next one, cross multiplication. 1 negative 1 is equals to negative 1. 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. And then third group, 1 multiplied by 3 is 3. 0 multiplied by 1 is 0. Next, cross multiplication again. So 1 multiplied by 0 is 0. 1 multiplied by 0 is 0. So same with the second data. Since we are multiplying to the value of 0. So our answer is always 0. 0, 0. 1 multiplied by 0, 1 multiplied by 0. Next, third, we have 1 multiplied by 2 is equals to 2. 1 multiplied by 1 is equals to 1. Next, 1 multiplied by negative 1 is equals to negative 1. Negative 3 multiplied by 0 is equals to 0. And then, next, 1 multiplied by negative 2 equals to negative 2. Negative 3 multiplied by 0 is 0. And then 1 multiplied by 0 is 0. And then negative 3 multiplied by positive 1 is equals to negative 3. But since we are doing the cross multiplication, we have negative sign here, so it makes a positive sign. So 0 plus 3. And then we simplify. 1 raised to 2, 1 squared is equals to 1. So 1 over 1. And then we simplify this. 1 minus, negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1. Negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1. 3 minus 0 is 3. 0 minus 0 is equals to 0. 0 minus 0 is equals to 0. 2 minus 1 is equals to 1. Negative 1 minus 0 is negative 1. Negative 2 minus 0 is negative 2. And then 0 plus 3 is equals to 3. So we do the 3 by 3 matrix now. Okay, so the 3 by 3 matrix. So our formula for 3 by 3 matrix, the same. Okay, so we just substitute the value from negative 1 all over negative 1 raised to 3 minus 2. And then in here, we have this value. We need to group them. So if we are going to group them, negative 1, 0 for the first row, negative 1, 0, then negative 1, 0, negative 1, and 0. And then next group, negative 1 and 0, negative 1 and 0, 3, 1, 3, 1. And then next, second is negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 1, negative 2. Okay, and then the second group, negative 1, negative 1, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so after grouping the data, we need to simplify this formula. So 3 minus 2 is equals to 1 multiplied by negative 1 becomes negative 1. So negative 1 divided by 1 becomes positive 1. So let's do the cross multiplication for this group. So negative 1 multiplied by 0 is 0. 0 multiplied by negative 1 equals to 0. Then group. Negative 1 multiplied by 1. 0 multiplied by 3 is 0. Next, cross multiplication. Negative 1 multiplied by negative 2 makes it positive 2. And then negative 1 multiplied by negative 1 is negative 1. And then negative 3 multiplied by positive 3 is equals to 3. And then negative 3 multiplied by 3 equals 3. Okay, so simplify again. So this is negative, so sorry for that. So it is positive, negative. So negative 1 multiplied by negative 3 is equals to negative 3. Okay, negative 1 multiplied by 3, it is negative 3, but we have, since we are doing the cross multiplication, we have negatives. So 2 negative becomes positive, so makes it negative 3 plus positive 3. Next, simplify. So 0 minus 0 is equals to 0. Negative 1 minus 0 is equals to negative 1. And then 2 minus 1 is equals to 0. And then negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Okay. So 1 divided by 1 is equals to 1, and then 0 minus 1, okay, it becomes 1, negative 1, okay? But since we do the interchange, this negative 1 becomes positive. So the phi value is positive 1.